The SIG P365 is extremely modular due to the fire control unit, and there's a lot of different slides and grip frames that you can use. I'm changing mine up right now. I've got a comped X macro slide with an optic on it and the original slide. First, we're going to try the original one and see how much of a difference that comp really makes. Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical and episode 1 of the next build series. So when I completed the last build series, the Dream Rifle build, I alluded to what might be the next build series, and one of the things that I was seriously considering was my carry pistol, my SIG P365, and main reason for that being I spend all this time upgrading and customizing all of my other guns, but the one that I'm most likely to ever have to maybe use is probably the one that I carry on me. And you guys might remember a video I did recently about how I just didn't feel super confident with it in its original configuration. It's just a very small pistol, and I didn't feel like I shooted it as well as some of my other guns. And so that is what this build series is. Today, we've got a lot to talk about. So make sure you're subscribed and let's get started. And now with the comp and the optic, and see if I feel more confident with it this way. As I said in the intro, I wasn't feeling as confident as I'd like to with the gun that I carried every day. It's a SIG P365. I've carried it for a long time. The original grip frame is right here, but a long time ago, I changed it out for the Holosun Combat Grip Module, which does make a lot of difference. But it's still it's a very small pistol. The Holosun Combat fills out your hand a little bit better, but the thing is still just really small, both in grip size and slide and barrel. It's just an extremely small pistol. And the great thing about the SIG P365 is that it's extremely modular. You can take out the fire control unit and put it in any grip module that you like, put any slide and barrel on it that you like, as long as it's, for a SIG Sauer P365. And so it only made sense to do an EDC build, right? And so that is what we're doing here. I think that I noticed a difference in recoil with the comp, so it does seem to do something. Optic, of course, always helps as well. We're going to go back to the original one and see how that feels. So I spent some time looking at the different configurations. The P365XL, the new P365X Macro, which comes in a comped version or a non-comped version. And I was at my local gun store looking at these different options, feeling them out. And there just happened to be a guy there who carries an X Macro currently and had basically exactly what I was thinking that I wanted for sale, parts that he'd gotten that he wasn't using. And he gave me a great deal on them, and so that is what I did. I got the XL grip frame, and I got the X Macro slide because he didn't want to carry the comped version, so he's using his regular XL slide. So I got the comped X Macro slide with the XL grip, came with a couple magazines, and of course, it's the new optics cut that SIG does where you still get to keep your rear iron sight, which if you know about the P365 iron sights, they're really good. They're the X-Ray 3 day and night sights. They're fantastic. And so the fact that you get to keep your rear sight with the optics cut, he basically had exactly what I was looking for. And as much as I think that the X Macro is a really good feeling pistol in your hand, it's almost a full-size gun at that point. And although I wanted it to make this bigger than what it originally was, I don't feel like carrying a full-size gun. I still want it to be small enough to carry concealed comfortably and not print. Back to the comp slide. Turn the brightness on the optic up a little bit. That should help. Yeah, I like that better. Switching grip frames out on the P365 is extremely easy. You take your slide off, which I don't think that YouTube will let me do on camera, but I can do it off camera. Let's see. Take the slide off. And this whole trigger group, or what Sig Sauer calls the FCU, or Fire Control Unit, is a pin right there. You push that out and the whole thing comes out very easily. And you can put it in all kinds of different grip modules. You know, I've got their standard one right here. I've got the Holosun Combat one that I've been carrying right here for a long time. And so I put it in the XL grip frame. But, spoiler alert for next week, I've got something even better for it. But this week's video is more about the comped slide and barrel. So, the XL frame though is nice because it's bigger. I feel like I can get a much better grip on the gun than I could with this little one. It makes a big difference. I took it out shooting over the weekend and it felt a lot better. The other thing is that the slide that he gave me is the one with the integrally compensated slide. Now, I was a little bit skeptical about whether this comp would actually be effective or not. And I'm sure it's not as effective as some thread-on compensators, porting, things like that. But I did notice a difference. Now, whether that difference was due to many factors, I'm not sure. But the gun was easier to control. Now, what I used as a control for my test was that I kept everything on the XL size grip. So that already made a difference because I could hold on to the pistol a little bit better. And then I just tried it with this slide and with my standard slide that I already owned. Now both of these have the same 3.1 inch barrel in them. You can see right there that the difference is they just add this little bit of length and the compensator on the end. And those little two baffles and that compensator, it felt like it made a difference to me. But at the same time, to be perfectly honest with you, I think having the optic on it also made a big difference. It just made it feel like I could shoot the gun a little bit faster and a little bit more accurately. And I just felt more confident with it, which is the entire point of why I'm building out my P365. There are a lot more upgrades, modifications that are going to happen to this carry pistol in the coming weeks as this build series progresses. And I'm going to call it my Holosun Combat Spectre Comp we have at home build. I don't know. But it's going to be like my version of a Spectre Comp. The Spectre Comp is the really expensive version of the SIG P365. And this is just going to kind of be my version. It's going to have the comped slide. Maybe that's the only thing that's the same. It's got an optic already. This is the Holosun 407K. I stole this off of my M&P 2.0. I do have a Holosun EPS coming for that. We will do a full review of that optic as soon as I get it. But I've got a lot more things that I'm going to do to this, including next week, we are going to add the Holosun Combat XL grip module in Flap Dark Earth, or tan I think they call it, because I really do think that the Holosun Combat grip module makes a big difference. It just seems like it's a little bit fuller in your hand, and it's got a lot of texture on the front strap and the back strap. And so that was something that I knew I was going to do no matter what. We've got a bunch of other things that we're going to do to this, so make sure you stay tuned to the coming episodes of this build series. But besides that, I just want to make a point about the P365 that's really cool. So obviously, this is a different size gun than what I had before, longer slide, longer barrel, longer grip. It doesn't fit the holsters that I currently have. But the cool thing is I can pull the slide off this, put my regular slide back on it, and then it still fits all of the current holsters that I already own. I have ordered a new Tier 1 concealed holster for the P365 with the light that's going to be on this. Another spoiler alert. But it hasn't arrived yet. And so in order to carry my carry gun until then, all I have to do is pull this XL slide off, put this one on, and then it fits all of my holsters. If next summer I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt and I feel like I'm printing with the XL grip, well, I could put my regular grip back on it and have a very small, deep concealed type of carry pistol as well. And therein lies the beauty of the SIG FCU and how modular it really is. And it's something that I always wanted to take advantage of when I first bought a P365, and I'm really surprised that it's taken me this long to finally get to it. But I've been messing around all week with different configurations, different grip lengths, different slide lengths, and you can really do a lot with that FCU and just switch things around, and you really only ever have to own one registered firearm, which is really cool. If you enjoyed this video and you're excited for the rest of the build series, make sure you subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical and give me a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. And the other thing that really helps is if you comment on the videos. I reply to every comment. I love interacting with you guys. And it just helps the algorithm push the video out to more people, which I really appreciate. Also, I'll put a link to get this optic if you want. It's an affiliate link. That comes back and helps the channel with a little kickback as well. All of that kind of stuff is greatly appreciated. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.